need a little bit more.
Enemy! Fuck, I'm dead. No, help me!
No! Did they pull back? Are you kidding me? God damn it. Hey guys, I Saw a Bear here, and today I'll be talking about the update 0.1 for the game Foxhole. Now real quick about the notation there, 0.1 refers to the first version of the early access release, whereas 0.01 referred to the earlier pre-alpha versions. And secondly, I will mention a little something about the launch of the early access. It was super successful, and we've got a lot of new players out in the field. So to all the new players, and perhaps new viewers of this channel, welcome, and welcome to the game. A little brief note about my channel. So basically I post a lot of gaming related videos, and a few extra ones as well. But the main bulk of my channel cover all the patch notes in detail, and try to show beyond what's actually written in the patch notes themselves. The devs will be updating the game every few weeks, so if you want to get the edge on your enemies, follow along with my update series. Alright, with that out of the way, we can get started on our update. So this update brings a lot of new content and a lot of new toys for us to play around with. Let's start off with the smaller ones. So first off, to all the new players who have joined the game, the new help screen will now get displayed when entering the game for the first time. If you ever need to refer back to this, you can just hit the escape key to bring up the menu, then you should be able to find the tab marked help to bring it back up. I definitely recommend reading through this the first time. So the first new weapon to the game is the Storm Rifle. It's a selective fire rifle that supports both semi-automatic and fully automatic fire modes. The Storm Rifle requires Tech Level 6 at the Weapons Factory. Once you have unlocked Level 6 at the Weapons Factory, it will cost you 160 basic materials for a crate of 20 Storm Rifles, and 120 basic materials for the ammo. With automatic fire, the Storm Rifle is pretty inaccurate, but great at clearing out close quarter areas. If you switch to the semi-automatic with the F key, it becomes a lot more useful at medium to long ranges. Although it's a lot lighter than the heavy machine gun, the Storm Rifle is still quite a heavy beast, and any assault squad member carrying one of these is likely to be solely dedicated to the Storm Rifle. So next up, the Field Machine Gun. So much like the artillery, the Field Machine Gun is a two-man crew pushable weapon system. The driver, on the left side of the vehicle, controls where the vehicle is looking and if it's traveling forwards and backwards. The gunner, on the right-hand side, controls the machine gun. The field of view for the gunner position in the Field Machine Gun is very limited, however, so you'll really have to work together as a team to use this thing effectively. The Field Machine Gun costs 100 basic materials at the vehicle depot, and the ammo for the Field Machine Gun will cost you 200 basic materials for 20 magazines of 200 rounds, and this is located at the armory. Next up on the list is what everyone's been waiting for, the tanks. The new light tanks have two variants, one for the Colonials and one for the Wardens. The Wardens have the Devitt Mark III, shown here on the right, and the Colonials have the Hatchet H5, shown on the left. Both tanks function almost identically, with some slight differences in them. The driver sits on the left side of the vehicle. The driver can move back and forth and turn side to side. Pretty obvious. The gunner sits on the right side. The gunner can rotate the turret 360 degrees for both tanks, and is also responsible for reloading after every shot. The tank commander enters at the rear and sits on top of the tank. From here you can use your secondary weapon slot, so pistols, but more importantly, binoculars. The tanks have two inventory slots, essentially one for gasoline and one for ammunition. The tanks are by far the heaviest vehicles in the game so far. They can crush sandbags, storage boxes, and also some wooden fences on the map. The slight differences in tank design do lead to some interesting scenarios. For example, in this test here, both tanks are at relatively the same place from each other and from the building as well. The Devitt, with its slightly more forward turret, can shoot around this building and hit the colonial tank. Whereas the hatchet, on the other hand, with its slightly more centralized turret, cannot hit the warden tank at this angle. This is only a few inches worth of difference, but it can lead to some interesting gameplay elements, and I can't wait to see what people come up with. Additionally, tanks also have some variable armor stats. The tanks are most heavily armored at the front, while weakest at the rear. It'll take a lot of RPGs from the front to destroy a tank, or disable it, but a couple of RPGs in the rear, and that thing is toast. Additionally, and this applies to all vehicles with shells, so tanks, field artillery, and howitzers can now stack their respective ammunition types. And so for the field artillery and howitzer, they now only have one inventory slot each, solely to stack their ammo. Some gameplay balances include: technology level for the field artillery and half-track have been increased by 1 to account for the new field machine gun. The salvage amount per salvage node has been decreased from 100 down to 50. Sorry logistics players, but here's some good news. The technology part yield rate has been increased by 25%. Well, that wraps it up for this update. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe, and stay up to date on all the latest Foxhole updates. And as always, good luck, keep your heads down, and stay in your foxholes. Bear out.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
enemy,
contact to the west. Wow, shit. Watch, get off the
I
road,
have
man.
name tag. Yeah, the guy that did bad boy was in.
Get to cover.
Find cover, find cover. Keep your spacing.
Let's go, boy. Where are they?
They're to the west.